All right, CT. So now we done talked about what happened last season, how we felt about each game and all the wins that, we really could have had.
Right.
Now I want to go through your top 5 performers from last season.
Well, man, I couldn't wait to get this list out. Look, starting with, I'm going to start at number 5.
Okay.
Mata, local guy down the street out in Beaufort, Georgia, went to Jackson State, only had 2 missed field goals and they were blocks. Kid was impressive. Came in, bro, he nailed that game winner for Arizona State, danced on the field. That's my guy. That's my
Yeah,
guy.
no, Dion made him do his dance, and yeah, I'm gonna pull up that clip, but you can see what he
Yeah,
did last year. It was impressive.
it
It was
was.
definitely impressive.
I mean, he was, he's like, oh, Colorado, Division One, I mean, because he got the same heat everybody else got. Come from HBCU, can he kick? You know what I'm saying? The division
Hmm
47 game winner. So hey, Mata is
And not
that
to
guy.
mention, he did not start off as a starter last
That's
year, so
right.
that's
Mm-hmm.
you know for
So
him
I'm
to
looking.
transfer and have to wait his turn. He did everything he's supposed to do. And let's check out this game winner last year. And this was a great one. This is right after when Shedeur went to Brady mode, hit Javon Antonio. They froze him before this kick, and he said, "I don't know why they do that because I'm gonna make it anyways." And
Make it
as you
anyway.
can see, right through the uprights.
Yeah, as a fan, I was like, yeah, that's that guy. Like, that's what you
Yeah.
want to see, right? Do
Oh,
that dance.
absolutely. You want a kicker with a dog mentality. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's obviously something rare to be able to find, but being able to see him do that, see him be able to step up in those big moments were huge, like
Yeah, especially
absolutely
when you got
huge.
people like me out there, fans, they be like, hey, if you miss this, you off the
Oh yeah,
team, buddy.
oh
You know how
yeah,
we fans
yeah,
roll. So
right,
that's
yeah,
huge. Like that's huge. And we can't understand that pressure. I mean, I didn't play Division One college football, nothing like that, but I'm
hmm
putting that pressure on him. Make the kick, right?
oh
So
yeah,
he did his thing, bro.
absolutely,
I like that. I like
yeah, and
that.
I think that gave him the confidence he needed for sure, to keep moving forward. And then I see number 4, who you got?
Number 4, I'm rolling with Dylan Network. That true freshman. Look, TCU game is all I needed to see. I'm like, I mean, what? Talk about prime time. Showed up and
Yeah,
showed out.
and we're able to watch that together. And I think almost every touchdown he had, I was calling out before it happened. I was like, "Hey,
That's
he's
crazy. He's
he
about to
gonna get it
go.
in."
What was even
Because
crazier,
I had
you were
seen,
hyping him up to me. You're like, watch this
oh
true
yeah,
freshman. He was committed to
man,
Notre Dame. He went to Colorado.
hmm
Why? I said, a true freshman gets TCU on the road. I was like, nah,
man,
bro.
all off season. Because I know he had played for Dion. I think Dion had coached him when starting at like 4 years old, and I seen his film. I'm like, hey, he can go. But a lot of it I was seeing from Well Off Media's page in the spring, because he was early enrollee, so he was there in the spring. Saw him in the fall, and I'm like, hey, he can really fly. And something I
And
think a lot of people mistake him for is just a scat back. But when we get our line right with who we got now, I think he's
right.
going to be great between the tackles as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to do wonderful. I mean, like I said, when he showed up, if that was the only game I saw him from that year, I just
Hmm
like, okay, Dylan Edwards, he is that guy. He is that guy. He got that dog mentality. And when, like you said, with this new line get going, man, I can imagine what he's going to do, be able to get into.
Yeah, no, he's definitely going to be able to really explode. I mean, last year, as a true freshman, to be able to have 620 total yards, 5 total touchdowns. I did hope that we would have seen more of him
Mm-hmm.
after, obviously, the stage was set with what he did versus TCU. But at the same time, it was tough when we didn't have the line to go with it. So that's something we'll be looking to improve on next year. But
But
yeah,
I mean, like you said, he was a true freshman. I mean, them boys like a true freshman. Like, you've
yeah.
been a collegiate athlete, like, so you understand better than I do. I'm just a fan. So the difference. Hey, I'm stepping on the field as a true freshman like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. My very first game of college football was in the Rose Bowl. So I've been there, played there as a true freshman. When I was at Nevada, we played UCLA, and it's no joke. The game the game speed is very different than college, than high school.
Mm-hmm.
And me having played running back in high school as well, the the field shortens. In high school, you're able to just, man, I was cutting back across the field, just going crazy, but everybody's a lot faster. So those same lanes aren't there that you had before. So the way he came out and was able to establish himself as a running back and a receiver was, amazing. So definitely excited to see what he's going to do in 2024.
Oh yeah, man, he's gonna be that guy. So then let's get to number 3, man. Shiloh, Mr.
So,
King, pick
man,
6. Man, that's probably my play, bro. Like,
yes, Shiloh had a fantastic season. And I tell everybody, he impressed me the most.
Right.
Like, I had seen him as far as, I think I saw out of high school, he went to South Carolina, and I thought like everyone else, okay, this is Deion's son, so of course they're gonna hype him up. Then I saw him some at Jackson State, but this past year, being able to watch him play he's legit, man. I mean, as you see, he was forcing fumbles, he was all over the field. What are the stats?
Yeah,
67 total tackles, 54 solo, 3 PBUs, a pick, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery.
Bro, look, he's already top 10 defensive back in Colorado history. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely insane. Yeah.
First in solo tackles of the Pac-12, 55. I mean, this guy, man, Shiloh's that guy, bro.
Here's his pick 6. And what I love about that pick 6 is he trusts in his coaching. He saw it on film, flat foot read it. He's not backpedaling at all. As soon as he sits down for the hitch, takes off and goes to the house. In this Oregon game, it was a disappointment for, most of the game. But one thing that stood out, Shiloh was hitting.
Wasn't he hitting? You see
down, bro.
Get that duck off that field. He laid him out. He went duck hunting. I like that.
Shiloh's
I like the physicality of him. Right?
Yeah, he's really physical. And as you see on this play right here,
oof,
he makes big hits in open space too. He's a really good open field tackler. And the main reason he's able to make those big hits he does is because he takes great angles to the football.
Because I was going to ask you, I was like, does he got great closing speed or is it the angles? How's he getting there and just landing?
He has good closing speed. I don't think it's, extra elite, but he's really smart as a football player. He understands, the running lanes, and he takes great angles to the ball. You see here him strip it. And that's how he's able to make those big plays because he's always taking the right angles. And that's really important as a safety. Every tackle isn't going to be a flashy big hit. A lot of it is just getting the guy to the ground. Doesn't have to be pretty. He does a great job of that. And man, from last year, from what I've seen, I would see him as a day 2 draft pick. Which
I could definitely see that. I mean, he had me excited. I'm like, okay, because I mean, I'm like, Shiloh, you that guy, like you are that guy. So I mean, he had me excited. So he definitely made the list. Now, so my next, we're gonna move over here because this is what I call. I couldn't go 1 and 2. I call it 1A, 1B. Just these two. So you can flip flop use either way, but Shedeur went Brady mode, man. Shedeur showed because I feel like he had next to Coach Prime, he was probably the second one with the most, with the most heat coming on, the most pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
They're like, oh, you coming from HBCU? He's different than the Power 5, but like he wasn't getting that respect, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? He knew he had to come earn it. And hey, once again, like Mr. Edwards, he showed up at that TCU game, bro. Made me lose my voice.
Man, TCU shocked. TCU shocked a lot of people. It didn't shock me at all. I was a fan of him when he was at Jackson State and seeing what he did. And a lot of people have questions. Hey, is he going to be able to do this on the next level? And I was like, as far as FCS to FBS and quarterbacks, like you got a lot. Trey Lance came from North Dakota State. Carson Wentz came from North Dakota State. Joe Flacco came from the University of Delaware. Carson Wentz and Joe Flacco had early success in the league coming from those places. Trey Lance, not so much, but it shows you that, hey, if you can ball, you can ball. Balling at the HBCU level, like we talked about in the last video, the main difference is the interior. It's not the outside guys that are the big difference. So being able to see him ball at Jackson State, I was like, man, he gonna go kill it at Colorado. And I mean, that's what we saw all season. He put up 30 total touchdowns, only 3 interceptions.
Which is, and remember, this is, I mean, and the Pac-12 was loaded, bro. Like that,
Oh yeah,
you know, Colorado did not have an easy task. The Pac-12 was loaded. I like towards the end of the season when Shedeur started using them legs and said, "Hey,
yeah,
okay,
me too.
you guys want to sit back there? I'm gonna have to get the moving." I like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, see, now he's teasing another element of his game. So now these defensive coordinators in the offseason got to be like, "Yo, he will run."
Yeah,
Oh, you know, so you gotta, you
exactly.
know, he
It
gives
gives
them
you
something
something
to
else
think
to
about.
defend. Hmm.
Exactly. I mean, this guy, he had the highest completion percentage in Colorado history in a single season.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And he was
nuts.
slinging it. These weren't
And
just dink and dunks. Like he wasn't Bo Nixon it where he's just throwing in the backfield. Like he was pushing the ball downfield and making just great throws. And we'll see some of the ones from Nebraska because he had a great game against them, like an absolutely fantastic game. And again, this one we talked about started a little slow, but he's just comfortable.
yeah,
That's probably the most impressive thing about him to me is it never seems like he's flustered. He's always calm.
right.
He's always collected. You know, Coach Prime says he calls him grown. Has always called him grown, and you
Mhm.
see that with him when he's playing. It's like, hey, he's always, you know, making the right decisions and doing the right things. So,
Yeah,
yeah, really
he is
excited to
definitely
see.
he's definitely that dog, bro. And I like how, like, when he scrambles in the back, like he keeps his eyes downfield. Like
Oh,
if
he's
you
scrambling
mess
to
up,
throw.
yeah, he's scrambling to throw. He is not scrambling to run, but he will take off.
Hmm.
And I'm like, man, and he almost threw almost 4,000 yards in his single season,
Yeah,
his first season.
yeah.
Ah, man, I'm telling you, he put the whole, like, look. Remember, we joked on the previous episode. You might have two Heisman's on the same
Oh
team, bro.
yeah,
Like,
for
really,
sure.
like
Yeah, no, I
legit.
think it's a 100% possibility. And this was a game which presented something different. You see Xavier Weaver going crazy. It
Straight
presented a
beast.
different challenge
Mm-hmm.
because they were dropping 8 most of the game. They're rushing 3 and dropping 8. And what that made is that closed the passing lanes. You see him use his feet
Mm-hmm.
right here to take off. So when you get those coverages, now, you know, it's not man coverage where you can catch someone, you know, beat them quick off the line and you're wide open. Now it's
Right.
okay. It's about spacing and timing. So I
Right.
need this guy to sit down. I need him to get in the right situation. And he took advantage of that. There he hits Xavier Weaver for a post. And I think they're in cover 3 right there. And he did a basically a bang 8, which is a skinny post, and
Mm-hmm.
got straight up the field. And here's a little dump off to Wilkerson. But eyes always downfield, always composed, super accurate. And he doesn't turn the ball over. And that's huge.
Isn't
Is
that's
knowing
real
that you're
huge?
going to keep
Turnovers a
it.
kill. Right. And you know, I like how you said he's real composed, like he doesn't get shake. You know, when they win that overtime game, he
Mm-mm.
said, man, I went Brady mode. And I think T Cal, you gotta let people know you're not an offensive player. So you giving
Oh no.
this guy his props and you play safety. So that
Oh
says a
yeah,
lot
absolutely.
of how much respect you got for
Yeah.
Shedeur and what he's able to do.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I played safety. I played at every level. And I've been able to see good quarterbacks and bad quarterbacks. So I know what it looks like. And I know who would be harder to face, you know, from the defensive perspective. And a guy that isn't easily rattled, that's always just making the right decisions, that isn't turning the ball over, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating because when you in situations where you don't have the team, like some teams against us didn't last year, where you could get a rush
Mhm.
on them, it's like, what do you
Right.
do? You know,
Right.
if we're
Right.
blitzing and he can dump it off quick, and if we're just sitting back in coverage, he can sit there and dissect it. So I I think he's the best quarterback in college football. Like
Wow, there it is, Americans. You heard it
you
here first.
yeah.
There it
I
is,
mean,
the best quarterback in college football.
I think he was the best quarterback last year. You know, some people might not agree with me, but
You just need that. You got to get so. With that said, and with this new offensive line coming in, you
mhm.
expect Shedeur to cause a lot of problems for somebody. A lot of problems for the
Yeah,
defensive
I mean,
coordinators. No sleep.
I expect him to win the Heisman, at least be a front runner. Like I genuinely think it's going to be 1-2 with him and Travis, just because.
Whoa.
And it usually isn't when it comes to receivers because they
Mm-hmm.
usually give it to the quarterbacks because the quarterback's throwing to the receiver. But
But is Travis is
seeing what
more than just
Travis
a receiver,
does
bro.
on defense, man,
Since we
it's
just
gonna be a
snuck
sight to
on
see.
in on over to Travis, you know, like I said, 1A, 1B, that dog
Hmm.
is at the top of the list. Let me tell you, man. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really understand how important a player like that can be once we go back to the TCU game. When he got that pick, college football
Mhm.
saved TCU with the rules where, like, if you get a pick and
Oh
you
my
got caught
gosh. Oh
out,
yeah.
because
To get
that
up.
was
Yeah.
a clean pick six. He was
Yeah.
gone, bro. Nobody was gonna catch him.
Yeah. No,
You
that
know what I'm
was
saying?
insane. And we're gonna break down that play. Because that was a huge play. And I was
Yeah,
with you. We watched that TCU game together.
yeah, bro. And that's when we knew
Mm.
Travis. I mean, he was not just a dog, a vicious dog, just
Yeah.
elite. Like, he jumped
Because
that route and
99%
he
of
was gone.
players don't make that play. They don't trust their instincts and they don't take off on it. But Travis, he saw it, click and go, made the play, and I said, okay, yeah. He's different.
And you know what else impressed me about Travis, bro? And I knew he was different because he dropped that touchdown pass and he just shook it off. Like, he was just like, okay,
Oh yeah,
we'll see.
in the first quarter.
Right. And this is a man that's
Yeah.
playing both sides of the field, by the way. Like, that's crazy. Like, and he
I've
played
played,
a lot.
I think the most snaps I played on defense was maybe 80 or 90. Either when we played Auburn or when we played TC or Middle Tennessee State. And I was gassed, like absolutely gassed. I wasn't even playing special teams. I was just playing defense. For him to do what he's doing on offense and defense, not to say special teams aren't meaningful snaps, but like truly, meaningful snaps back to back, like people have no idea how hard that is. And he impressed me. Like I was a believer before when I saw him at Jackson State, but then seeing how he played at versus TCU, Urban Meyer had went and visited Colorado practice, and he said he doesn't need to practice much longer. He said he's that kind of guy that he's just that talented.
That's extremely high praise.
Yeah, and you see it because you see that Deion's able to let him just take longer breaks during the week because he knows mentally you get to a point where when you're talented enough, you mainly need mental reps. He doesn't need as many physical reps once he's in the season. And I don't think Travis Hunter could do this at any other school because I don't think there's any other coach that would understand how to do that other than Deion.
So that makes sense. So, it didn't surprise you when Travis says, "Coach going, I'm coming too."
Oh, for sure, man. What? I mean, it didn't surprise me when Travis chose Jackson State. Like, you're the number one.
That surprised the hell out of me. I'm not even gonna lie.
The best cornerback to ever play the game, other than even wide receiver, Shedeur Sanders is the most unanimous number one at his position in football history.
Yeah,
like you go, you go receiver, people argue, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens. You go running back, there's a whole bunch of arguments. Quarterback, the same. Cornerback, that's Deion. It's not nobody else. Like,
I agree
Deion
with you,
is number one, very solidified. So as a high schooler, you get a chance to go play for that cornerback coach, but not only for that coach that's the greatest corner of all time, but also one that in the league played receiver as well. Was able to do that. So it's like, where else would you go? There's nobody else that's going to understand you. So many college coaches wouldn't be giving him days off. They make everybody do the exact same thing. And a quote that Mike Tomlin has said that I love is he said, "Everyone's going to be treated fairly, but everyone's not going to be treated equally." Because you can be treated fair, but if Travis is playing all these snaps and doing this, I'm not going to make him practice with everybody else. Right. Unfair? No, it's fair. Is it equal? No, it's not equal, but it's not supposed to be equal. So Deion understanding, obviously, because he's been there, how to coach him, that's part of what makes him so successful.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
We'll run through my list real quick before we go to that TCU play, because we got to see some of those clips. I got about 3 clips I want to show of Travis and how we just
see why he's the dog, why he is the dog.
So at number 5 for me, I got Cameron Salmon Craig, and he played the star position. I played in this defense, the Saban defense.
So how important is the star? You're talking to a fan, not a player, not a coach. You got to break it down. What makes that star position so what it is?
So that defense runs through the star. You usually put your most versatile defensive back there. Travis could be a great star. It's just the stars are going to be involved a little bit more in the run game. And we want to keep Travis more outside as far as, having him fit gaps and stuff.
Mhm.
But the star does a lot. So the star is going to be pretty much your primary blitzer.
Right.
He's going to take the number 2 receiver on the field, meaning the slot receiver on either side. He's always going to go to the best of the 2 slots. So if it was a 2-by-2 formation and they're playing man coverage, the star is going to call the passing strength, which is to the best slot receiver on that side.
Right.
So he's playing man coverage in the slot, which is already tough.
Yeah.
He's blitzing from the slot. He's playing zone. He has to come up. There's a play in that defense called 7 mod. And in 7 mod, it's a quarters coverage. And in that quarters coverage, he has to be the edge. So he's coming down, fin the edge. So just a lot going through that defense. So you have to be good at a lot of great things. And we had Slusher, who was balling at that position, TCU game, the transfer from Arkansas.
Right.
He got hurt. Cameron was able to step up, and I think he had a hell of a season. And it doesn't show as much stat-wise,
right?
As far as, hey, he just had crazy stats or anything like that. But as far as like, really affecting the defense, he did a whole lot.
So do you think Slusher gets the job back, or they're gonna ride with Craig?
That's a tough one, man. I loved Slusher when I saw him. I didn't get to see as much as Cameron, but I think it's going to be a battle. And I don't know. We got to find out how to get these DBs. We're at a position where we have a surplus of good DBs, and that's
not a bad complaint. Yeah, that's a great thing to have.
So we got to find a way to get them on the field. When Coach Charles Kelly was there, again, that Saban defense, they have certain packages where you have 2 nickels. It's really the star and the money, but the money, which is a linebacker, becomes
I was about to say, what's the money position?
Another DB.
Oh, okay.
So the money position is basically the weak side linebacker. It's called the money. So you got the money, the Mike, and then you have your Sam. Or Jack, depending on what it is. So the money is going to be your weak side linebacker. When I was playing in this defense, a lot of times, anytime we went to our dime package, I'd come down and play the money. So now I'm a DB playing a linebacker position.
Wow.
Because that means it's going to be a pass heavy situation. But if it's a run, I got all the same linebacker fits. So in certain situations like that, I think we'll be able to see, or we would, if we had the same defense, see both of them on the field.
Oh, okay. That's really
it's going to be interesting to see, one, who we get as a D coordinator to really see how these players can fit going forward. And at number 4, I got Xavier Weaver.
Xavier Weaver. That guy was
great season.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we showed some clips. There's another one I told you about before the season. I said, hey, number 10 with the dreads, he can go. He can go.
Man, he was something special. I mean, real special.
Oh, yeah. And he's what we needed as far as a deep threat. So he had a fantastic season. I think he'll probably be a day 2 draft pick. I expect him to run high 4.3s, 4.4s potentially. So I'm really excited to see what he does there. And yeah, I think he's going to have a great career at the next level. Then after Xavier, I got Shiloh. Like I said, most impressive to me this year. I'm a believer now. Shiloh can ball. And,
welcome to the welcome to the Stampede, buddy. We believe right? Over here.
Absolutely. And Shiloh's actually one that would be a good star, where he could be in the slot, play that nickel position, cover, being there for blitzes and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I flipped your 1 and 2.
I told you it's 1A, 1B. I don't even know why you say
No, it truly is. Travis this season was crazy, obviously.
Right.
700 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, 31 tackles, 5 PBUs, 3 interceptions, and that's only in 9 games.
That is wild.
If you put him just on one side of the ball, the stats are crazy. You put him just at receiver, he goes for over 1,000 yards in 9 games.
So this is what I feel about Travis Hunter, you know what I'm saying? And I can understand why, if I'm D and Coach Prime, I'm going to play on both sides, because I feel like if you put him on just defense, his stats ain't going to be that crazy because they ain't going to throw it aside. You know, and I noticed that when I was watching a few games. I said, man, they don't throw it. And this guy's playing both sides, of the offense and defense, And even in the fourth quarter, you think, oh, this guy's tired now. This is a good time to start trying him. They
Hey,
still stay away from him. That's
still in
respect,
his
bro.
bag.
That
Oh
is
yeah,
respect.
absolutely. I mean,
1,000% respect.
you gotta respect him, and we're gonna go
Right.
over. I'm gonna pull out a few clips of what he did this year, man, because it was just insane.
Right.
For me, playing DB, having played at the college level, seeing how he made these plays, it was just absolutely crazy to me. And we're gonna start with TCU because this TCU one was absolutely crazy. Let me see if I can pull it up. And yeah, here we go. So we're gonna go to this one. So on this, so the play that they're running, and I have another angle as well that I'll show, but the play that they're running is called clamp. It's gonna be 7 clamp. So what we got is they came out in the 2x2 formation, and then in the 2x2 formation, they also had this running back to this side, which that's what we call a loaded formation. So they got a loaded formation. So to the loaded side, basically what clamp means is this safety, and this corner. These 3 have 1, 2, and 3. So these 3 are covering those 3.
Right.
And how it works is Travis has anything fast to the flat. And from a defensive perspective, the way we count these receivers is from outside in. So this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3.
So when you say fast to the flat, if the receiver breaks to the right, that's Travis' guy.
So basically for Travis, anything out and up.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Anything in, he's gonna pass off to the next defender. So and then so forth. So like this guy right here, he sees number 3 go fast to the flat. So that means that he has to look inside to see what number 2 is doing. So he looks out, number 2's coming in. So now he's taking this number 2, right. Really now is the new number 3. So he's still taking number 3. And then we see number 1 going in.
And you can see Travis' eyes.
Oh yeah.
When you're back where you were, you could see he was just looking right at the quarterback. Oh yeah. I didn't even notice that.
Waiting. Yeah, so he takes over that number 3. He takes over that number 2. This is Travis's new number 1. So as soon as he sees him go fast to the flat, he's like, okay, I'm gone. But what Travis did, so right now, Travis could already trigger it. He didn't yet because he wants the quarterback to still think it's open. So he's patient, but as soon as he sees that arm come back, it's gone. And like that play was incredible. And that defensive scheme that Charles Kelly ran is a great defensive scheme. You don't see a lot of that in college football, other than if you're part of that Saban tree. Like, because to most people, that just looked like man coverage, but it's actually a lot more in depth than, your typical man coverage. And Travis played it. I mean, you literally can't play it better than that. So that was extremely impressive to me. Seeing the way he played that, seeing the way he saw it, he triggered and made the play.
A crucial play. You took a touchdown away.
Oh my gosh.
He took a touchdown away. They were like on the 3-4-yard line.
Oh yeah, that was
a major play. Yeah, that's
and the play before. That's when they had a run and broke for like 80, 90 yards.
Oh yeah, I remember that
all the way down.
Way down. That's
and then right after that, So man, the things he was doing, is just absolutely incredible. Now let me get this play pulled up from UCLA because he has 2 that we're going to watch from UCLA where he's different, man. You don't see a lot of corners doing the things that he does. So in this UCLA play, we're going to see. So he's in cover 2. So on cover 2, we got this safety up here.
Right.
He's responsible for this half. And then this is your hook player right here. So his hook zone is right here, vertical. Travis, his zone is right here. He has the flats. But what his job is right here is to get hands on number 1. So he's going to reroute him, and preferably he's going to reroute him. It depends on the defense. Some do outside, some do inside. But most likely he's going to try to reroute him outside, and then we'll see how this plays out. So this is crazy. So this is, I don't remember if it's the first or second interception, but right now that's Travis's man.
Right.
It's zone coverage, but he's in his zone. So that's who he's responsible for. This is a smash concept. So really, we'd like to see whoever this is right here get some hands on him and reroute him out. And actually, in this defense, we really want Travis to reroute him inside, but he's not going to chase him. But he needs to reroute him outside so you can make the job easier on the safety right here. So as we see this play, so it's a corner route, which is smash concept. That means number 2 is running a corner, and then number 1 is either running a hitch or out or something like that, which is made to do exactly what it's doing right here. And that's pulling the corner back down so that we have a free throw right here.
Oh, I see it. I can see the 3. Yep.
And Travis understands that. So Travis, unlike, I'm telling you, most corners, they're going to sit there, grab his hip and not move. They're going to be on this guy. Travis knows this smash. This is a 5-yard route. This is, 10 to
touchdown
15.
pass. Yeah.
So what we call this is a $1 bill, $100 bill. So don't give up the $100 bill chasing the $1 bill or taking the cheese. So Travis, he's sitting there. As soon as the ball's out, he goes parallel, makes the play. Wow. That is teach tape on how to play cover 2. And I see corners in the NFL that still aren't doing this. So we're running through right now. Sit there, bait it, go get it. Hell of a play by Travis.
Wow.
He's
that guy. He's the dog.
Plays. So that same UCLA game. Let me go grab the other clip for him. He made basically the same play. I don't remember if this was before or after that one, but he was able to do essentially the exact same thing because they tested him, and that's what you're supposed to do when you get tested. So let's pull up the other clip to see how Travis played this versus how he played the first one, and man, it's just beautiful. So in this clip, we're back to cover 2.
Right.
So right back to cover 2. And let's go back a little bit. So same thing. Travis is jamming him, trying to reroute him. He reroutes him outside. And they're trying to get this ball in now to him.
Right.
So what this is, what we called it was stagger. So he's going to be running a go route, and then he's going to be running an out route right here. So what Travis does perfect is he's rerouting them. Then immediately he flips his hips and his eyes back to the quarterback. It's zone coverage. So zone means your eyes need to be on the quarterback. So watch him reroute, flip his hips, and he saw it, triggered, made an incredible
interception. Wow. In all the footage you show, Travis always watching that quarterback. Like you can see it on camera. Like he's always watching the quarterback. And it's crazy.
And you can see it right here.
Uh-huh.
His eyes are on the quarterback. He's getting his reroute, and he still has his eyes on the quarterback. But go ahead with what you're saying.
I say it's crazy being able, because watching it real time, you just be like, interception. No idea.
You can't see what actually took place.
Breaking it down, and I'm like, man, the attention to detail is crazy.
So we got the same thing here as cover 2. The safety, like to see him a little bit more off the hash because that go route, he has to get that go route. And in this spot right here is a hole shot. Now Travis, he's reading the quarterback's steps. So, and when you're playing shotgun, that's essentially a 3-step drop back. When you just catch it and turn, that's a 3-step. You don't throw go balls on a 3-step drop back. Go balls are a 5-step. So anytime you see 3-step like that, the ball's coming out quick.
Right.
Travis rerouted him, so he knows it's not going to his guy, but regardless, he's already in position. So he can read his eyes and know that a quick route's coming, and then he just comes there and robs that out route. Like the attention, and that tells me how good he is in the film room.
That's what I was wondering. He's got to be really good in the film room, right?